All right, let's talk about something that can drive even the best writers a little bit crazy, the dash. If you've ever stared at your screen wondering which little line to use, you've come to the right place. We're about to untangle the whole dash family and turn that confusion into total confidence.
You know the one I'm talking about, right? That little key just hanging out next to the zero on your keyboard? So what is it, really? Is it a hyphen that glues words together? A dash for a dramatic pause? Or just a minus sign you use in spreadsheets? Look, if you've ever been stumped by this, you are definitely not alone. And let's be honest, for most of us, that one key pulls triple duty. We use it for everything. But here's the thing, that one-size-fits-all approach is a bit of a pro-level mistake. Professional writing is all about precision, and that means using the right tool for the right job. So here's our game plan. We're going to open up the Professional Writer's Toolbox. First, we'll meet the whole dash family. Then we'll get to know each tool one by one, the hyphen, the N dash, and the big one, the M dash. After that, we'll cover some pro rules about spacing and style, and we'll wrap it all up by talking about how to punctuate with real purpose. Let's dive in. So yeah, the whole issue starts with our keyboard. It gives us one key, but the world of professional typography actually has 3 distinct tools. Each member with the dash family has a very specific job, and here's a super simple way to remember it. Their power is related to their length. The longer the line, the bigger the separation it creates. Okay, time for a proper introduction. First, we have the little guy, the hyphen. He's the joiner. His entire job is to create a super tight bond between words. Then there's the middle one, the N dash. He's the spanner, perfect for connecting things across a distance. And finally, the longest one, the M dash. This is the interrupter, used for a big dramatic break. Just remember those roles, joiner, spanner, interrupter. That's the core of it all. All right, let's reach into our toolbox and grab that first tool, the hyphen. Like its nickname, the joiner, suggests, its entire purpose in life is to create these really close connections. Think of it as the superglue of punctuation, holding words together so they act like one single unit. Okay, so what's its main gig? Creating something called a compound modifier. I know, that sounds technical, but it's not. It's just when you team up a few words to act as one single adjective. The rule, though, is strict. This team only gets a hyphen when it comes before the noun it's describing. Here it is in action. See how state-of-the-art is working together as one big idea? The hyphens are that glue we talked about, telling your brain, hey, these 3 words are a single concept describing technology. It just makes it read so much more smoothly. But now, watch what happens here. It's like a magic trick. When we move that phrase to after the noun, poof, the hyphens vanish. Why? Because in the technology is state-of-the-art, the words don't need to be glued together anymore. The meaning is already crystal clear. It's a subtle distinction, but it's what makes writing really polished. Okay, tool number 2, the N dash. You can see it's a little bit longer than a hyphen, and as our spanner, its whole job is to bridge gaps. It shows ranges, relationships, and distances. It's the punctuation mark you use for all kinds of connections. You know, the easiest way to think about the N dash is just as a substitute for the words to or versus. It's perfect for a range of dates, like 2022 to 2024, or for page numbers, like pages 195 to 230. It works for scores, too. The vote was 54 versus 46. And even physical routes, like the Boston to New York train. Easy, right? Okay, you ready for a real pro tip? The N dash has this advanced use that honestly separates the experts from the amateurs. It's a subtle little rule, but once you see it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. It's all about achieving perfect clarity. Now look closely here. On the left, using a little hyphen for pre-Civil War is, well, it's ambiguous. The hyphen is too short. It kind of looks like pre is only attached to civil. But we mean pre attached to the whole concept of the Civil War, right? That's where the slightly longer N dash on the right comes in. It correctly spans both words, connecting pre to the entire phrase. It's a tiny detail that makes a huge difference. And now, for the star of the show, the final, most theatrical member of the family, the M dash. This is the longest dash, and it is all about one thing, drama. The M dash is your go-to tool for creating emphasis, for controlling the rhythm of a sentence, and for making a real statement. It is the great interrupter. So let's say you want to insert a little extra thought into a sentence, an aside. You've basically got 3 choices. You can use commas, parentheses, or the M dash. But as we're about to see, the tool you choose completely changes the entire feeling of the sentence. First up, let's try commas. Using commas here is the most formal, the most neutral choice. The phrase bristling with indignation is just smoothly integrated right into the flow. It's a gentle, pretty standard pause, very proper. Now, let's swap those commas out for parentheses. See how the feeling changes? Suddenly, that phrase feels quieter. It's like you're leaning over and whispering a side note to the reader. Parentheses de-emphasize information. They make it feel secondary to the main action. But look what happens when we bring in the em dashes. Bam! The whole sentence stops in its tracks. The aside just jumps right off the page at you, and then the sentence continues. This isn't a whisper, this is a shout. The em dashes are yelling, hey, pay attention to this part. It's important. Okay, so you've pretty much mastered the function of each dash. Now let's just add the finishing touches. We need to talk about the stylistic rules for spacing, because believe it or not, it can depend on where in the world your writing is being read. So here's a key difference you should know. In most US publishing, the standard is to use that long em dash with no spaces on either side. It's closed up tight against the words. But in many British and European styles, you'll see something different. They often use the shorter en dash for the same job, but with a space on each side. Same function, just a different look. It's good to know who your audience is. And one final, really crucial warning. The em dash is powerful, but because it's so dramatic, it can sometimes feel a little too informal. If you're writing a very serious academic paper or a technical manual where objectivity is everything, the flair of an em dash might be distracting. In those cases, you're probably better off sticking with the more neutral commas or parentheses. Okay, let's bring it all home. What we've seen is that choosing between a hyphen, an en dash, and an em dash is never random. It's a deliberate act. It's about you, the writer, communicating with absolute precision and controlling the tone and rhythm of your work. It really all comes down to this simple toolkit. You've got the short hyphen to join words together. You've got the medium en dash to span a range or a distance. And you've got the long em dash to interrupt a sentence for dramatic effect. Join, span, interrupt. If you remember those three actions, you've mastered the dash family. So think about that. You've gone from having one confusing key to having three precise, powerful tools in your writer's toolbox. The next time you sit down to write, you are in complete control. So the only question left is, how are you going to build your next sentence?